Hi, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Robin. I am the Bibliophile Puzzler, but this is neither reading nor jigsaw puzzle related. But never fear, I am just finishing up a puzzle that I just uploaded the video. I just finished a book called It Goes So Fast, and I'm about to start a book called Cyanide and Sensibility. So I'm still doing all the things. Now, what you see here is this case and this case, because there are 81 colors. 81 colors in this hanging out in the game room diamond painting. Now I'm going to put this image in the thumbnail so that you can see it, since you can't really see what it is underneath this table. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can kit it up and talk to you while I do that. I haven't done a whip and chat in months, if not a year, but let's go for it. So the first thing I have to do is to get the drills out of this plastic. So you're going to hear that noise for just a second. Okay, so 81 colors. Look at all the drills. So what I did is, for my kit, I put in these size Tic Tac container, the small one and the large one. I've got about maybe about 60 of the bigger ones and maybe 30 or 40 of the smaller. So there's going to be plenty. So anytime I find like these numbers here are small, so they'll go into the smaller ones quite naturally. So let's see how I can organize this and not bump the camera and not lose anything. I'm going to just do a little bit of shifting. I'm putting this on my keyboard drawer. You know how keyboards have a little drawer that slides out? So that's what I have the smaller one on just for the moment, and we'll try to work with the big one. So you have one strip, and these are all small drills, so I'm going to put the small one to the side. Small amounts of drills. These are pretty good size. Another one with small amount of drills that I'm putting to the side. I'm just leaving the big ones out now, and I'll put the big ones in the bigger tray and then segue myself into the other tray. Another big one. So I've got 2 long strips, 3 long strips. Is that part of that? Okay, I've got 3 long strips and a smaller strip, and then small ones over here. So like I said, we're going to save the small for last. This one is by itself and it's 310. So let's just get started with that one. So I bought a pair of scissors in here ahead of time, and I'm just going to go for it. Oh, what I didn't do, I left some old labels on. I did not put the labels on the containers ahead of time like I would ordinarily do, because there are 81 colors, and I wanted to make sure that the labels would be available for the smaller Tic Tac containers versus the big ones, which would be the majority of these Tic Tac containers. So because I'm going to be using both small and large containers, I decided to leave the stickers on the sticker sheet and to just do them independently. So what's going on in my life? Well, quite a bit actually. It is 2024, as you are quite aware of, and at the beginning of this year, at the end of 2023, I didn't set out any, I'm just getting the 310 sticker off of here. I didn't set out any resolutions because I don't necessarily like to call them resolutions, but I did make some goals. And I can talk to you a little bit about those goals. And one of those goals is to read the Bible in 1 year. So what we're doing is, I actually first invited my sister to join me, and then I invited my daughter and son-in-law, and then I invited my friend Heather. So there's 5 of us that are doing this, and then I created a group chat with the 5 of us, and so we are currently reading through the Bible, with the goal of having it completed in 1 year. Heather, myself, my son-in-law Jamin, and my sister Julie are all reading the Bible books in order, and my daughter Adriana is reading the Bible chronologically. An example of chronologically is Job was written after Genesis by Moses. So chronologically, it's Genesis, then it's Job, and it goes back to Exodus. So whatever years the Bible was written is the chronological order. That's what I plan on doing during 2025. But for 2024, I am doing it like this. And I can show you actually. Is my phone. Okay, so I'm using this app, opening everything but what I want to open, called Reading Plan. And if you can see this, hopefully it'll focus. You see for Thursday, tomorrow, January 11th, I am scheduled to read Genesis 34 through 36. And whoops, I didn't mean to close out of it. But if you, okay, there we go. But if you look here where it's shaded, those are the first 9 days or 10 days of January and how I have read each day. So when I get to tomorrow, there are little boxes that I can check. I'll just toggle it on. See how I checked it? But I'm going to toggle it off because I haven't read them yet. So that is my reading plan. There are other reading plans. Like I said, this app also contains a reading plan for chronological, which is, like I said, the way the order of the Bible was written by calendar date. Shane, if I'm saying that correctly, that is interspersing connected Bible books, and you read them according to however it's set out. So let's say if I selected that, right, and I go back over here, and I would be reading from Genesis. So you read from the Old Testament, which is the Hebrew scriptures, the Greek scriptures, a prophet, and something during the time after Jesus died. So this splits it up to Genesis chapter 1, Matthew chapter 1, Ezra chapter 1, and Acts chapter 1. But I'm not doing that plan. I am doing the books in order. So I have to say, I think I'm doing through the Bible. Let's make sure. Whoops. I just have to go back and fix it. Okay, so I just went back and fixed it so that I'm all set for tomorrow. So that's one of the things that I'm doing during 2024. And I love the fact, oh, by the way, before I go on, you see how I have 3 of these 310s? There's a drawer underneath this drafting table. So any extras are going to go right in this drawer, which is literally, where's my hand? Right underneath there, there's a drawer. So the extras will go in there. And when I need them, I'll get them out. So the next thing that I wanted to do for 2024, and none of this is any particular order. The most important thing for 2024, this is 300 twice, so I'm putting the extra one in the drawer below me. Below the table, I mean. The next thing that I wanted to do for 2024, and like I said, no particular order, is I want to read at least 2 books a day. Now, yesterday I did not get that accomplished. I only read 1 book, and I read my chapters for another book, which I'm going to talk about in just a moment. So the reason that I did not read a second book yesterday is another goal of mine is to catch up on my blog. I have not really been blogging much since August of 2023, and because I haven't been blogging, there's not a ton of blog posts that went up last year. And not only that, but now I have, I think, 1,300 NetGalley ARCs, advanced reader copies, and an untold amount of print ARCs, print advanced reader copies, of which I don't have any in here, so I can't show you one right now. So what my goal is for reading, and I'm going to stop for a moment, is to read at least 400 books this year, but the ultimate goal would be to read 600. If I can read 600 books this year, then I can knock that NetGalley backlog in half. And then during 2025, I can finish it. So in 2 years, I could get my percentage at NetGalley up. That is one of the goals for this year, is to get 50% of my NetGalley backlog buttoned up. And so what I'm doing for that is I created a shelf in Goodreads. These don't all look like they're going to go. Yeah, they might go in there. I created a shelf on Goodreads that says NetGalley 2024. So by having, I'm just gonna let them fall on it. I'm going to get a tray in a second so that next time this happens, they're all together. I created a shelf on NetGalley called NetGalley 2024. So it'll be a quick, instant way to tally however many NetGalley books I get read. I just completed a print arc called It Goes So Fast by Mary Louise Kelly. So I will have a shelf on NetGalley that will have print arcs for 2024. Like, for example, I have The Fury by Alex Michaelides as a print arc. So what I will be doing is shelving that. So therefore I'll be able to tally what I have by Galley. Okay, I'm sorry. 8:14. I will have what I'm reading from NetGalley in one shelf on Goodreads, and then I'll have on another shelf any print arcs that I read. Like I said, the one I just read, It Goes So Fast, and then the one by Alex Michaelides. So when I do that, as I do that, I will be working on at least twice a week, maybe every day for a few days. I'm just going to take these tops off. We're just going to shave a few seconds off of this. I will be taking a couple of hours, at least each day for right now until I catch up, and writing blog posts. And my intent is, right now I have to catch up. I had 12 to write. I wrote 6 last night, and I read a book today. So that means that I have 7 to write currently. But I hope to have Cyanide and Sensibility completed today. So that means I'll have 8. So I might do all 8 of them tonight, or do 4 tonight and 4 tomorrow. And then I should be 100% caught up with everything that I'm reading, and then try to write after I read each book. Always been a goal of mine, never been a goal I've been able to keep, because I usually put one book down and jump right into the next book. But now, like I said, I have a plan to catch up on my blog. So let's refresh. First thing is reading the Bible from cover to cover in 1 year in a group of 5 people for encouragement's sake. The second goal is to, whoops, I threw that away without looking at the number, 817. Got to make sure that I put the right stickers on here. That would be tragic if I didn't. So reading the Bible through, reading 2 books a day, knocking my NetGalley queue down by 50%, and last but not least, on that regard, staying on top of my book reviews. So 904 we have 2 of, so the extra one is in the drawer already. Can you see what I'm doing? Let's just adjust the camera just a little bit. You might not have been seeing me put these in for the last, say, 7 or 8 minutes, and I apologize for that. But now you can see me for sure. I just looked over at my laptop and realized, wait a minute, you can't see what I'm doing. I opened this bag incorrectly. These might struggle to go in. Oh, I meant to put a tray here. Hopefully I won't spill any since I don't have a tray down yet. The reason that I spill is not because I'm not pouring them in. It's usually the last few drills in the bag sometimes will stick due to a little static electricity. That's the reason that I end up spilling. Oh, I just keep tossing the bag. I'm going to have to leave the bags on the table. This is 904. So, the next thing that I am doing this year is I belong to a chat group on Facebook called Doorstoppers Are Us. Message me if you're interested. Every other month or so, we read a tome. A tome is a book that's around or over 1,000 pages. Now, in 2022, I think a lot of us were going through, okay, these do not want to separate. I'm trying to separate 904 and 905, so let's put 905 back for a minute. For 2023, we really did not do any buddy reads, but we started our first buddy read for 2024, and it is The Count of Monte Cristo. And The Count of Monte Cristo is 1,276 pages. So what we're doing is we've split it up. I'm sorry for the squeaky chair. I try not to move so much. We're going to split it up by listening to the audiobook roughly 2 hours per day, and we began this on Monday. So today is the third day that we're doing this as a collective, and so I am now up to chapter 12. So tonight or tomorrow I will be reading chapter 12 of The Count of Monte Cristo. So that's another goal. Then I was invited to join a puzzle challenge group on Instagram, and once I see what the challenges are, I will be challenging myself with another group of people. Okay, so we've got the Bible reading, we've got 2 books a day, we've got knocking my NetGalley stash down by 50%, keeping up to date on my reviews, reading The Count of Monte Cristo, and no, I don't use notes when I talk, so I'll stumble here and there. And I just joined was invited to join a jigsaw puzzle challenge group. So, since I joined a jigsaw puzzle challenge group, let's talk about my jigsaw puzzle goals. My jigsaw puzzle goals are simple. 1 puzzle every other day to the tune of about 4 puzzles a week. I did intend on trying to set a goal for a puzzle a day to the tune of 7 puzzles a week, but I wanted to leave time for my blogging and my videos and my editing. And so I have to put the puzzles down at some point each day. And I also need to put the jigsaw puzzles down at some point each day, because it's my intention to also plan, which is yet another goal, using my happy planners. Okay, so this one wants to be stubborn. 905. I have to try to remember that. Using my happy planner. Now, my first happy planner that I set up for this year is a Franken planner, but already I have created a second planner, and that second planner is for my blog. And so I haven't done any decorating yet with my happy planner. Excuse me, I'm going to use a tray so in case drills fall out. I haven't used any decorating like stickers or highlights or whatever, but for the first part of me using my planner for the first time since 2022, yes, I did not plan in 2022, so, 2021, I had not used my planner since 2021. So the first thing that I want to do with my planner is just to log everything I do each day. The chapters of the Bible, the daily text that we have each day, the chapters in The Count of Monte Cristo, the book that I'm reading, any doctor's appointments. Those are the kinds of things that I'm putting in my planner. And as I get some of the backlog of things done that I need to do for NetGalley, I may go into decorating my planners by using stickers and things of that nature. But I'm not going to do that I didn't do it last week, and I don't intend on doing it this week because there's only so many hours in a day. And as they always say, Rome was not built in a day. So I'm leaving the decorating of my planner for either later in this month of January or sometime in February. So about my jigsaw puzzles, like I said, I want to do at least a puzzle every other day. And if I can do more than that, more power to me. But like last night, I finished a puzzle and I really wanted to begin another puzzle, but I also want to catch up on my blog. So I used a little self-discipline and did some blogging. That's very important to me to get back to blogging. And my blog, by the way, is robinlovesreading.com. So I am feeling really empowered with all of these goals. And I like having goals and I like staying busy, but at the same time I like enjoying my hobbies. So with the thought of enjoying my hobbies, one of those hobbies is what you see me doing right now. It's getting back to diamond painting. And that's another reason that I dropped from my initial thought of doing a puzzle every day to just doing a puzzle every other day, because I want to start doing this. So that is yet another goal. What is my goal for January for diamond painting? Well, this hanging out in the game room, this one that I'm kitting up now, it is a 94 by 70 centimeters, which is 37 inches by 26 inches. And it uses roughly 107,000 drills. Will I get this done during January? Maybe, maybe not. But if I don't, I'll carry it into February. So since I have decided to diamond paint, decided to blog, decided to work on NetGalley, I have decided to take my puzzle goal down to 4 a week versus 7 a week. And so if I did a puzzle every day, I would do 352 puzzles or 356 or whatever, how many days there are. I would do that many puzzles in a year, but this past year I think I did 152 or 252. I can't quite remember. Let's just go see. I really don't remember how many puzzles I did, so I'm just going to go check. I did 152 puzzles in 2022. I mean, 2023 I did 152 puzzles, so my goal is to do at least 150 puzzles. If I can do more than that, great. If I can't, that's also fine, because I'll be diamond painting, I'll be blogging, and I'll be, doing things of that nature. So I'm feeling really happy about setting these goals. And something else that I'm thinking about doing, but I don't have it ironed out yet, is there was a time when I would do Friday reads or Monday reading wrap-ups, maybe back in I'm just going to dump them in here, dealing with static, so just to make it quicker, I just dumped them in there. That just saves me a couple of seconds. I lost my thought. I totally lost my thought. I'm on a new antidepressant, and one of the things is cloudy thinking, one of the side effects. So every now and again of late, I'm finding myself losing my train of thought. But in any event, I'm really happy that I have the motivation again to be productive. And that productivity, I think I was talking about being busy and staying busy. Okay, $4.98. We have 2 of these, so one is going in the drawer. Let me cut this off, sit this in the drawer. So my goal of staying busy has many purposes. But what has helped me with my desire to be super busy during 2024, I think, is a change of mindset and the additional antidepressant that the doctor put me on. I think those two things in conjunction with one another go a long way as far as helping me to feel better about myself and to feel that I have enough value and worth that I can get some things accomplished. So changing my mindset was important, and I want to talk about that. Last year, at the end of last year in December, I reread a book called Gaslighting: Recovery for Women. And in that book, it talked about ways that people do gaslight others, how not to be subject to it, and how to prevent it from happening in your life. Well, when you think about your real life relationships, your spouse, your children, your grandchildren, your siblings, when you think about those relationships, I bet the majority of people do not bicker and go toe to toe with the people in their everyday lives. Like friends, like my friends from the Kingdom Hall, and I could literally sit here and spit off 10 names, but I won't do that. But I'm not going to bicker with them. We have things in common, which, as far as the friends at the Kingdom Hall are concerned, and that is our faith. So when I interact with people, my goal is to be positive, and I do that. But sometimes I find in social media situations that becomes a real challenge. And I love the fact that we have Job chapters 34 and 35 for this week's congregation Bible reading. And Elihu is talking to Job, and he reminds him of some things. And one of the things is to remind him to let Jehovah God handle matters. And then we had our daily text, which I think is 2 Timothy. Let's find out where it is. Our daily text is 1 Peter 2:21. It said, Christ suffered for you, leaving a model for you to follow his steps closely. And the comments on there speaking about the ministry, but I like to apply this in my personal life. It says, like Jesus, we should never retaliate, even if spoken to harshly. And it refers to 1 Peter chapter 2, verses 22 and 23. I don't know if you can see that. Then it says, of course, showing such restraint is not easy. What can help? Try to look beyond the response of whoever it is that you're talking to. And in this case, it would be if you were in the ministry. So that scripture, along with reading the book of Job and listening to Elihu's encouraging words to Job, is part of that mindset that I decided to try to adopt going forward. Jesus says, return evil to no one. And he also says, turn the other cheek. But one thing I've learned in therapy, and yes, I'm in psychotherapy, one thing I've learned in therapy is that sometimes we have to have boundaries. And I want to talk to you about those boundaries. The way that my therapist equates boundaries is he knows how much I love jigsaw puzzles and diamond painting. And because I talk to him so much every week, he remembers to, especially because because of the pandemic, we were doing our appointments by telehealth. So he's aware of two of my things that I have hanging on my walls, and they are castles. The one in my office is an Amy Stewart, I can't think of the name of that castle, but it's a famous castle in Switzerland. And then another one that I have hanging in the living room is I believe it's the same castle, but it's a totally different look. And so what he does is he uses a castle as an illustration to how I can have boundaries in my life in order to avoid conflict. And remember, I just read those comments, which I still have open on my phone. It says, like Jesus, we should never retaliate even when spoken to harshly. Of course, showing such restraint is not easy. So, with that in mind, and with my therapist using a castle as an illustration, we talk about boundaries. Now, in order to enter a medieval castle, you have to pass over a moat. A moat separates the castle from any intruders or anybody that doesn't belong there. You also have a drawbridge, and if that drawbridge isn't down, then even if the moat was open, they can't get past the drawbridge. And I said to him the other day, I said, you know what? Somewhere I read that castle walls were about 8 feet thick. And so I Googled it while we were talking, and it come to find out castle walls are anywhere between, in medieval times, castle walls were anywhere between 8 feet to 19 feet thick. So the enemy, they were safe. If they were within the walls of that castle, they were safe from the enemy. Well, what in the world does all of that have to do with my state of mind and my peace of mind? Well, having proper boundaries in situations, I'm missing the top to one of these. I don't know where I put it. Did it fall on? We'll see. Oh, there it is. Okay. Having boundaries can enhance peaceful relationships with people that you interact with. And since I like the social scene online, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, what have you, you run across different personalities. And when you run across these different personalities, you are in effect dealing with people who don't share your values. They don't share your principles. So to have boundaries is like keeping them out of my castle. And Mark and I, that's my therapist's name, have been talking about this for a year. But it finally rang true as far as making me understand that even though Jesus says return evil to no one, or turn the other cheek, or what the golden rule is, do unto others as others do not. What is the golden rule? Oh my goodness. Now I have to look it up. Let's do that. I want to quote it correctly because I know that it is often misquoted. So I'm going to look up unto others. Match exact. No. All right, take that off. Let's find it. Wait a minute. I'm confusing my search field. Bear with me. All right, we're going to go to jw.org because oh no, actually, we can go to Google for that because I think Google will have the actual scripture, golden rule. I want to quote it correctly. It's very important that I'm accurate because, like I said, I don't use notes, and because I don't use notes, I can say things incorrectly. So the golden rule, okay, so Wikipedia. All right, let's just use Wikipedia's principle. The golden rule is the principle of treating others as one would want to be treated by them. So the goal is to treat people the way that you want to be treated. Okay? And I want to follow that rule, but unfortunately, I'm a human being that errs every day. We have to pray for forgiveness every single day of our lives. It's part of the Lord's Prayer to pray for forgiveness because we fall short. And so when I talk to my therapist about some of the problems that I have, he reminds me that even though I am trying to apply that principle, being kind to others, showing them the kind of concern and care that I would want them to show to me, I still have a right to have boundaries. And so it is those boundaries that I am going to really use during the year of 2024 to avoid conflict. And then I ask myself, why do I even have conflict? I want to see if this 934 fits in a small container. I think some of these bags can go in small ones. Let's test it out really quickly. Oh yeah, I think no, it's a little close, but let's get all the drills out of the bag first. And let's just experiment. I am kidding up, so I am going to drop off my conversation at some points, like I am now. And I'll get back to it in just a moment. I have some static. I should go get a dryer sheet. They do fit. Some of these baggies do fit in smaller containers, so I have to keep that in mind. So, again, about applying the golden rule and treating other people the way that we want other people to treat us, my therapist always impresses upon me that we don't have to interact with everybody that we come across because we have a right to set boundaries. And why do we set boundaries? One of the main reasons is because it's for our peace of mind. And when you have some psychological disorders, and I'm not going to be shy, I'm going to start to take some of these smaller ones out because now I know that I can save the bigger ones for other drills. How can I put this? Having certain mental illnesses, bipolar, major depression, and PTSD, means that I'm easily triggered by situations. And then I have this weird desire or weird ability to fairly well sense other people's pain, needs, and wants. And I always want to help that next person. I always want to fix what's broken. And because I want to fix what's broken, I set myself up for disappointment in some of my interactions. I think this baby goes into a big one. Sometimes I set myself up for painful results. And then I had a friend one day was telling me that it's okay to let someone throw stones at you, because really stones may not hurt you. But if somebody was throwing boulders at you and hitting the target, and you're the target, that's gonna hurt. And would you just stand there? Oh yeah, we're gonna leave it in the big one. Would you just stand there and let those boulders be thrown at you? So I have to think about all of that, because I ask myself, and that's what I started to say before I pulled out 30. Why? Do we have 3842 twice in two different bags? 3842. Yeah, we sure do. I wonder why they did that. That's very strange. 'Cause look at that. It's gonna fit in here. I'm glad I saw that. I know I'm jumping around, but I want to talk about dealing with certain mental illnesses and dealing with triggers. And because I like to be on social media, I find myself sometimes in situations where there's triggers. And what my therapist tries to do, is to help me to understand setting boundaries in order to have peace of mind. But he made a statement the other day that was not this past Monday, but the Monday before last, because I see him on Mondays. But he said that it could be life or death, and I had to think about that. Why does setting boundaries have? Why could having to set boundaries mean life or death? Well, this is where it's going to get deep. Okay, I'm just going to use the initial of a condition that I have. Is I experience SIs quite a bit, and anybody that has major depression and depressive episodes may know what that means, and I'm not going to say the words here on my channel. So when he said to me last week, and then he brought it back up the other day, it could mean life or death. It's if I'm in a situation, or in situations in general, in any situation, could be real life, could be social media, could be one of my children even. And if it makes me experience those SIs because of being triggered, then it truly is a matter of life and death that I exercise the right to erect boundaries. That's some deep thinking there. So I just feel different, because things are clicking into place as far as what I need to do and how I can be better. Not just be better and feel better, but also be a better person. Oh boy, why do I see 141? Wait a minute. Why are they mixing up their colors like this? Look at that. All right, we need a sticker. We need a sticker. They're not, these are not in the same place. So, nope, that's not a sticker. All right, give me a moment. Okay, that's weird that 141 was put in two different spots. So I just want to put a sticker on there so that I remember what this is. I want to complete my thought, and I know that I'm jumping around, but that's what a whip and chat is. You know, you don't stick to one topic. 141. All right. So this is going to go in the drawer, because I don't need it right now. And now I have to watch out for repeat numbers being not attached to the previous sheet. That's really strange. Okay, back to my business. Because I'm feeling better, some of the discussions that I've had or been having with my therapist are clicking more than they have clicked in the past, even to the point where, thankfully, I haven't experienced any SIs for a couple of weeks now. And I think that's in large part to the second antidepressant that was added to my regimen. And whether it's that, or whether it's the goals that I have set forth for 2024, and the excitement for those goals, and like when I say goals, like for example my Goodreads goal, I actually went to the Goodreads Challenge Factory and completed that as far as January. I mean, it's exciting to have goals that I might be able to achieve, and that is part of the reason that I think that I'm feeling better and I'm not dealing with the SIs. But I think a lot of it is the new medication is really kicking in and very helpful to me. And so with all of that, I want to have boundaries, but I also find myself drawn to certain situations and certain people. But I remembered something this morning. Jesus died for all mankind. John 3:16, for God loved the world so much that he gave his only begotten son, that in order for everyone that exercises faith can have everlasting life. So everybody's redeemable. Nobody's without redemption or without a chance of redemption. So I can have boundaries but enjoy the company of people that might trigger me without allowing myself to be triggered. And I have 301. I have to keep all of that. Oh, there we go again. 301. Do I see 301 in here? Diamond Art Club, why are you putting these things separately? 301. Give me a moment. 1, 9. Yeah. Nope. That's not 301. It's 935. Okay. I didn't throw the right bag away, so I'm good. 935 is a dark green. Okay. Crisis averted. Diamond Art Club, you didn't do anything wrong. Okay. So, what you are going to see on this channel, the Puzzling Bibliophile, is a new and improved Robin Taylor. You're going to see somebody who emotes, is that the right word? Exudes. I want to exude positivity. When this channel presents things to you as my viewers, I want you to see things from a positive light. Things that will, oh boy, things that will inspire you and motivate you. Things that will make you spend money. Like, for example, if I show you a David McLean jigsaw puzzle that you haven't seen previously, and you're a David McLean fan, you'll be like, oh my goodness, I've got to get that puzzle. That, you know, that's what I want to do. If I read a book that's really good, like, for example, I read a book called Can't We Be Friends by Denny S. Bryce and Eliza Knight. Those are the authors. And the book is about Marilyn Monroe and Ella Fitzgerald's friendship. And it was a really eye-opening book. It won't be released until March 5th, but I read it last week. And so when I share my book reviews on this channel again, I hope to encourage you to check out this book or that book. Check out this puzzle or that puzzle. Check out this diamond painting or that diamond painting, for that matter. And yes, I threw a bag away before I grabbed. Oh boy. No, I didn't. It's right here. 3826. Okay. There we go. 3826. I've got to do this in a more rote manner so that I don't get confused. So hopefully when you come to this channel, you're going to see not just the jigsaw puzzles and diamond painting, but I hope that you'll start to see planning and book reviews and maybe more of these whipping chats where I talk about things that are affecting me in a positive way. So that when you pull away from my video, when you hit the stop button or the end button and you go on to your next thing, you've come away inspired. And that's what I'd like to do. But I also like to share. Just like every time I do a puzzle, I upload a video. The video might only be 1 minute long, but I upload it anyway, you know, because I want to share. I want to do that with book reviews. I want to do that with this diamond painting and maybe other diamond paintings. I did pull out Crazy Cat Lady. It's a DAC painting, but I don't know that I'm going to get to it right away, because if I get this one done, I kind of want to work on, it's a butterfly girl painting. I think it's butterfly something, but I think I want to do that next, because it looks like my daughter Ariana. So hopefully you'll enjoy watching me do stuff like this. Maybe I can have my camera set up so I can chat with you while I diamond paint. And then what I did try, I don't know that I did it in 2023, but I think I did it a few times in 2024, is, you know when I like read a week's worth of books, let's say I just read 6 or 8 books. Then what I'd like to be able to do is, while I'm diamond painting, give mini book reviews again, so that my whipping chats won't be about a hodgepodge of stuff like I'm doing now, but we'll have a central theme, like a Monday wrap-up or something. So that's kind of, I'm percolating that idea. I haven't quite cemented whether or not I'm going to do that, and the reason why I haven't confirmed with my own self that I want to do that is because I didn't know, this is going to sound silly, I didn't know if I could come in here and kit up. Why? Because I'm doing Cosmic Marbles by Amy Stewart, since I just completed another Little House on the Prairie puzzle, and I wanted to get back to Cosmic Marbles. So now that this is being kitted up, I can just see myself doing my diamond painting while I talk to you about the books I read that week. And then maybe in the description box below, I can link the book and the Amazon link, so that if you're interested in reading that book, you can get it, or if you're on NetGalley like I am, you can get it from NetGalley. Now, the way I plan on working NetGalley, by the way, I keep losing the tops. The way that I plan on working NetGalley is all the new books and then old books. New books, then old, new, old. So sometimes if I do a book review on this channel, the book may not be out yet, and I'll always let you know what the release date, like for example, Can't We Be Friends, about Marilyn Monroe and Ella Fitzgerald, that doesn't release until March 5th. So I'll always let you know when something is going to come out. So that way it might inspire you to read or to add reading to your list. Like I had mentioned to a couple of people, and I mentioned it already earlier here, is I'm doing a tome this month, which is the Count of Monte Cristo. So I think it's scheduled to run through January 31st, but January 19th is makeup day for anybody that falls behind. So it's every day from this past Monday until the 31st, with one free day in there in case one of us should fall behind. Oh, the static is getting on my nerves. See that? See these drills I just had to plop on the table? That's because of static electricity. I may have to get up and get a dryer sheet, but they're easy to pick up. There we go. There we go. Okay. Static electricity, leave me alone. Oh, Z498. This must be the fairy dust. I've never used a fairy dust drill before. This has to be fairy dust because of the Z in front of it. That is great. Okay, that was fun to find out. So we got two 938s here. And did I get 938 already? Nope. So we'll just take the extra one and put the extra one in the drawer. I find it a lot quicker to put the extra drills in the drawer rather than to empty out every single bag when I kit up. Because then I'd have to find a place for all the drills that I've kitted up. And I just made a colossal mess that we're going to just sweep into this tray and clean up. Hopefully we don't have any static. Let's try it this way. Okay, this one doesn't have as much static, so that was an easy cleanup. Just a couple of drills, 4 that I have to pick up. Okay, so that is 8. Nope, that's 938. So we're almost at an hour, so I think what I'm going to do is I am going to call this video done and go ahead and finish kitting this up, and I will share a picture on my social media platforms because I still got a ways to go. Look at how many colors I have left to kit up. That's a lot left, isn't there? And that will probably take me another hour, and I don't think you want to hear me dribble on another hour. But I wanted to try this WIP and chat, and like I said, now that I am getting this hanging out in the game room diamond painting kitted up, maybe I will on a weekly basis talk about the books that I read as I diamond paint, and that way you can kind of get the best of both worlds with me when it comes to reading and diamond painting. Of course, jigsaw puzzle content is going to stay the way that it is because that's working. I'm very happy with that. So we're going to call it right now, call it done, and I am going to stay online. I am going to stay at this task until I am done, but I will be starting this next book, Cyanide and Sensibility. I'm not quite sure who the author is, but we will soon find out. Cyanide and Sensibility is by Katie Oliver, and it's narrated by Jennifer Gilarea. So that's, let me see if the cover will come up. I'm trying to bring up the cover. So that's what I'm going to do right now while sorry for the glare of the light over there. I am going to listen to this book while I finish kitting up, and I hope that you enjoy this WIP and chat. It says that I have 3 hours and 56 minutes left if I read at 2.5 speed, which I'm not going to do. I'm probably going to read at 2 speed, so it should take me 4 hours and 54 minutes. So I think I will finish kitting up and then just diamond paint until I'm done with this book. That's my goal for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you with my next video. Bye-bye.